South Korea is a country steeped in rich history and culture, but beneath its bustling cities and serene landscapes lies a darker side. From ancient temples to abandoned amusement parks, some places in South Korea are said to harbor restless spirits and eerie energy. In this video, we're going to take you through 5 of the most haunted locations in South Korea, where ghostly encounters and chilling tales are enough to make your skin crawl. Get ready, because these haunted places might just leave you questioning what's real. The dark secrets of Hwasong Fortress, a haunted history. At first glance, Hwasong Fortress may seem like an impressive historical landmark, a monument to the military prowess of the Joseon dynasty. It was constructed under the orders of King Jeongjo to honor his father, Crown Prince Seto, who was tragically executed in 1762. The king sought to make his father's legacy known, but as history would have it, this grand design would become tainted with bloodshed and sorrow. Crown Prince Seto's story is one of unspeakable torment. Condemned to die by his own father, King Yongjo, for his violent and erratic behavior, Seto was locked in a rice chest to die of suffocation. The horror of his final moments, trapped, suffocating, slowly losing his mind, would leave a scar on the land that would not heal for centuries. Legend has it that the restless spirit of Crown Prince Seto haunts the fortress, forever seeking revenge for his cruel and unjust death. Visitors report hearing unexplained whispers echoing through the fortress at night, as if the prince is calling out, crying for freedom. Others claim to see shadowy figures moving in the corners of their vision, flickering just out of sight, as though something or someone is watching them. Some say the very walls of Hwasong Fortress are haunted. Paranormal investigators who ventured into the fortress after dark have recorded chilling anomalies. Cold spots, sudden temperature drops, and the inexplicable sound of footsteps echoing through the empty corridors. It's as if the fortress itself is alive, breathing, remembering the past and the horrors it holds. Then there's the story of the lost souls of the soldiers who perished defending the fortress. Many died in bloody battles, their lives extinguished by the sword and arrow. Their spirits, tormented by the violence they endured, are said to wander the fortress grounds. Some claim to see ghostly figures in military attire, their faces frozen in expressions of fear and anguish. Visitors have reported the strange sensation of being touched or brushed against by unseen hands as they walk through the old gates. But the most disturbing part of the fortress's haunting is what lies beneath. Hidden deep within the fortress's grounds is a well, an ancient structure, once used for drinking water, but now a chilling symbol of the past. It's said that the water of this well was tainted by the blood of those sacrificed in brutal rituals. As the legend goes, anyone who dares approach the well after sundown risks seeing horrific visions of bloody executions, screams echoing in the darkness, and the skeletal remains of those who were lost to the depths. And perhaps the most terrifying of all the stories tied to Hwasong Fortress is the tale of the Lady in White. The tragic story goes that a young woman, once in love with a soldier stationed at the fortress, was heartbroken when he fell in battle. In her grief, she took her own life near the walls, and now her spirit roams the fortress grounds, draped in a tattered white gown. Witnesses claim to have seen her spectral form in the fog, standing motionless by the walls, her eyes hollow, her face twisted in agony. To this day, visitors and locals alike warn against staying near the fortress after dark. The spirits of Hwasong Fortress are not content to remain in the past. They live, they linger, and they wait for their next victim. The haunted secrets of Gyeongju's Bulguksa Temple, a dark history. Bulguksa Temple, built in the 8th century during the Silla dynasty, is one of Korea's most treasured cultural landmarks. It's been a place of pilgrimage, a home for monks, and a symbol of Korean Buddhist architecture. But as with many ancient structures, time carries more than just beauty. It carries the souls of the past, souls that have never left. Legend tells us that the temple was constructed under the guidance of King Jaeondeok and his chief architect, Kim Daesung. Kim was said to be a man of deep devotion, but his dedication to the temple came at a terrifying cost. One night, After years of overseeing the construction, Kim Dizong had a disturbing dream. In the dream, a vision of a Buddhist deity appeared, demanding a sacrifice. The deity whispered to Kim that in order for Bulguksa to reach its true potential, someone close to him would have to die. Kim, filled with dread, awoke from his dream, only to discover that his beloved sister had vanished. Search parties were sent out, but there was no trace of her. Some believe she had been sacrificed to fulfill the curse of the temple. Others say she was taken by the restless spirits already inhabiting the sacred grounds. Over the centuries, strange events have been reported. Monks who meditated within the temple walls began to speak of shadowy figures that moved in the corners of their eyes. The sounds of footsteps echoing in the halls at night, but no one there to walk them. The chanting of unseen voices, almost as if the temple itself were alive, haunted by something older than anyone could understand. In 1969, a young monk named Choi Yong-sun disappeared without a trace. He had been assigned to a solitary meditation retreat deep within the temple grounds. His disappearance was so mysterious, so sudden, that many of the monks began to whisper among themselves that the spirits of the past had come to claim him. Some say they saw him on the temple stone steps in the dead of night, his eyes wide with terror. But when they reached out to help, he vanished into the shadows. No one ever saw him again. And yet, some believe his presence haunts the temple still, a lost soul trapped between the worlds. Rumors abound of a forbidden section of the temple, sealed away for centuries. Some say it is here, in these ancient halls, that the worst of the temple's dark history lies, a room untouched by time, where the souls of the sacrificed still linger, forever bound to the walls of Bulguksa. But no one dares to speak of it, for fear that the spirits may awaken. The haunted and disturbing secrets of Jangsungpo Beach, Ghost Beach. Nestled along the coast of South Korea, there is a place so sinister, so shrouded in mystery, that the locals refuse to speak its name. Welcome to Jangsungpo Beach, also known as Ghost Beach, a place where the veil between the living and the dead is said to be unerringly thin, and the spirits of the past continue to haunt its shores. Jangsungpo Beach has long been a site of legend and folklore. Originally, this picturesque coastline was known for its serene beauty, attracting fishermen and travelers seeking solace by the sea. But as time went on, rumors of strange disappearances began to surface. Whispers of people vanishing without a trace, swallowed by the ocean or dragged away by unseen forces. But it wasn't until the late 1950s that the true horror of the beach began to unfold. During a particularly violent storm, a small fishing village nearby was struck by tragedy. The sea raged with an unnatural fury, and when the storm subsided, the entire village had been wiped from the map. Not a single soul remained. What followed was even more chilling. Fishermen returning to the beach at night, reporting strange figures walking along the shore, figures that would vanish as soon as they were approached. Locals began calling it Ghost Beach, and it was here that the spirits of the lost seemed to linger. Jangsungpo Beach became a place of dark superstition. Visitors spoke of hearing soft whispers carried by the wind, the sounds of children laughing, or even the hollow footsteps of someone walking behind them, though no one was ever there. But the most disturbing accounts were those of unseen hands. The sensation of being touched by cold, clammy fingers while standing alone by the water. Some claim the water itself seems to reach out, pulling at their ankles, trying to drag them under. Yet, no matter how many people vanish into the sea, the beach remained eerily calm, as if the spirits were patiently waiting, watching for something or someone. And then there are the shadows, dark, shifting shapes that move just outside the corner of your eye, always too quick to catch. Those who have ventured onto the beach at night say these shadows often seem to follow them, never too close, but always there, lurking just beyond the edge of sight. But perhaps the most disturbing part of Jangsungpo Beach's dark history lies in an ancient statue that stands at the edge of the sand. Known to the locals as the guardian of the dead, this eerie figure has been linked to the strange happenings on the beach. Legend has it that the statue was erected centuries ago as part of a ritual to appease the vengeful spirits of the drowned. Some believe that the statue is cursed. Anyone who dares to disturb or desecrate it is said to incur the wrath of the spirits, who will then drag them to their watery graves. But even more disturbing are the reports of people who have visited the statue and never returned. Their last words are often the same. "I saw it move, though it seems frozen in time." There is something undeniably wrong about the statue, something that makes your skin crawl when you gaze upon it too long. Perhaps it's the way its eyes seem to follow you, or the faint whispers that emanate from it when the wind is just right. There are those who say that if you stay on the beach long enough, the sea will call to you. At first, you'll hear nothing, but if you listen closely, you'll hear a soft whisper in the wind. It will beckon you, coax you into the cold embrace of the water, but do not answer, for once you step into the waves, you may never return. Your spirit, like so many before you, will become part of the ocean's eternal collection. Jang Sungpo Beach, Ghost Beach, a place where the dead refuse to rest. A place where those who dare venture too close will never leave, not in body and not in soul. The dark secrets of Cheonggyecheon Stream, Seoul's haunting history. Once, this was a place of life and death. You see, Cheonggyecheon was not always the picturesque location it is today. In fact, for centuries, it was a site of fear and despair, a witness to the suffering of countless souls whose stories are far from forgotten. During the Korean War, Cheonggyecheon became a refuge for the desperate, displaced families, homeless people, and war survivors. The stream, which had been covered over by concrete for decades, was a grim place to live. The once thriving waterway turned into a haven for the broken, but the devastation didn't end with the war. It was here, in the depths of the stream's dark, hidden corners, that many met a grim fate. It's said that the very waters that flow through Cheonggyecheon have absorbed the pain of all who suffered here. There are stories, countless whispers, of figures in the water, ghastly images of the dead, the lost, and those who disappeared without a trace. Some claim to have seen shadows moving just beneath the surface, as if the stream itself is haunted by those who perished in its depths. Local legends speak of a ghostly woman, her face pale and distorted, her long black hair flowing through the current. She is said to be the spirit of a woman who drowned in the stream, fleeing an abusive marriage. Her body was never recovered, but her spirit is said to wander the waters, her mournful cries carried by the breeze. And it's not just the ghosts of the past that haunt Cheonggyecheon. Modern-day visitors have reported chilling experiences along the stream. Late at night, when the streets are empty, some have heard footsteps behind them, the sound of hurried steps following close, though no one is ever there. Others have felt cold hands brush against their skin, only to turn and find nothing but the stillness of the night. Could this be the restless spirits of the past, or something far darker lurking beneath the surface? Those who know the history of Cheonggyecheon believe the answer lies within the stream's twisted past. It has seen too much suffering, too much pain, to ever truly be peaceful. Some say the water itself is cursed. Cursed by the deaths, the tragedies, and the secrets it has witnessed over the centuries. The stream may be beautiful, yes, but don't let its calm exterior fool you. The spirits of Cheonggyecheon are said to be as timeless as the water itself. Forever waiting, forever watching, forever haunting. So, the next time you find yourself near Cheonggyecheon, remember this. You're not just walking along a peaceful stream. You're walking through a history of pain, of lives lost, and spirits that may never find peace. The abandoned Yongma Land Amusement Park. Located in the outskirts of Seoul, South Korea, Yongma Land was once a small but lively amusement park, built in the 1980s. For years, it was a popular escape for families seeking a taste of adventure. But something went wrong, something that led to its abandonment. Now nearly forgotten, Yongma Land stands as a haunting monument to lost joy, with its rusting rides and peeling paint. A disturbing reminder of what once was. Once, this place was a beacon of happiness, But as time passed, Yongma Land fell into disrepair, and its few remaining visitors became fewer still. The rides that once carried the laughter of children now creak with the wind, their colorful exteriors fading into the gray backdrop of desolation. The Ferris wheel, its cars swaying in the breeze, seems to be waiting for passengers who will never return. And it's not just the rides that tell the story of decay. As you wander through the park, there's an unsettling feeling in the air, as if you're being watched. The silence is oppressive, broken only by the sound of your own footsteps. But some say the silence isn't truly empty. Some say that the spirits of those who once walked these grounds never left. It's not hard to see why people believe the park is haunted. The carousel, once a beautiful display of horses in motion, now stands still, its once vibrant colors faded and chipped. The horses themselves seem to stare blankly ahead, their eyes glazed over with an unnatural emptiness. Some visitors report feeling a cold, creeping sensation as they approach it, almost as if the spirits of children who once rode these horses still cling to the rusted wood. But it's not just a carousel. Reports of strange noises echo throughout the park. Children's laughter, soft whispers, and the faint sound of carnival music, all from places where no one is supposed to be. Some say they've even seen fleeting glimpses of figures, silhouettes of people, not quite human, lingering in the background of their photos, only to vanish when they turn their heads. Are these just tricks of the mind, or are they something darker? The park's closure in the late 1990s marked the end of its public life, but for many, the memories of Yongma Land never faded. Former workers and visitors have reported strange encounters. Some claim to have felt cold hands gripping their shoulders, only to turn around and find no one there. Others talk of hearing faint whispers in the night, beckoning them to return. What could have happened here? Why did the park close so suddenly, leaving behind such a heavy, eerie atmosphere? Some say it was the park's inability to keep up with newer attractions, that it was simply a victim of time. Others speculate darker reasons. Some claim that accidents took place here, tragic events that went unreported. Perhaps there were lives lost, and their souls now seek vengeance. The truth remains buried, but the stories persist. At night, the park takes on an even more sinister feel. The air is thick with the feeling that you are not alone. If you listen closely, you might hear the whispers or the creaking of old machinery that hasn't worked in years. And for those brave enough to enter the park after hours, the sightings become more frequent. Figures darting between the shadows, a feeling of being followed, footsteps that aren't your own. The spirits of Yongma Land seem restless, forever trapped in a place they once loved. One of the most unsettling features of this place is its apparent refusal to let go of the past. The rides and attractions stand frozen in time, a cruel reminder of the days when joy filled the air. The old ticket booth remains, abandoned and forgotten, its windows cracked and covered in grime. The once colorful signage now hangs limply, as if waiting for someone to read its faded letters again. Yongma Land may be abandoned, but it's far from empty. Whether it's the ghosts of children who once played here, or the lingering spirits of those who worked to keep it alive, something haunts this forsaken place. And as long as the rides remain, as long as the wind continues to sway the broken Ferris wheel, the memories of Yongma Land will never fade, and neither will the spirits that call it home. So, the next time you pass by, remember you're not alone. Yongma Land's ghostly echoes still remain, waiting for someone brave enough to uncover the truth. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the legends surrounding these haunted locations in South Korea are both fascinating and spine-tingling. From the unsettling silence of abandoned parks to the ghostly whispers in ancient temples, there's no shortage of eerie encounters waiting to be discovered. So, would you dare to visit these places, or is it better to keep your distance? Let us know your thoughts, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more spine-chilling adventures. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.